With your CIGTV News Update, I'm Donna Bush. The CBC's Human Resources Manager, Simone Mamby, is the top civil servant for the month of February 2019. The Cayman Islands Customs and Border Control is said to have delivered an outstanding customer service experience by playing a pivotal role in bringing about the merger of the Immigration Enforcement Unit and the Customs Department to CBC. Deputy Governor Franz Manderson praised Ms. Mamby during the presentation at CBC headquarters Tuesday of this week for being a tower of strength and support to the senior management team to meet an often grueling deadline. Meantime, Ministry of Human Resources and Immigration's Chief Officer, Mr. Wesley Howell, lauded Ms. Mamby for seeing CIG's world-class vision. Simone's integrity and diligence in servicing of our organization, he said, speaks to her inspiration and confidence to build ability and credibility. We say congratulations to Simone Mamby. Also making our headlines this Friday, the Cayman Islands National Museum is getting a facelift, costing around $100,000. The works are happening particularly to the roof of the building, which was built many years ago and needed to be replaced. Now the museum is home to artifacts and its doors remain open to visitors while the work is taking place. Once completed by the end of this month, the roof of the museum will remain the bright red color it was before the project got started. Finally, the Economics and Statistics Office will start its annual business surveys for measuring the economic performance of industries in the Cayman Islands. That's all happening next Monday, the 8th of April. Survey forms will be hand-delivered, mailed, or emailed to all entities that produce goods and services right here in the Cayman Islands. Now, the aim of the survey is to gather data for the System of National Accounts, which estimates the total value of goods and services produced by the different industries here in the Cayman Islands. A reminder that all survey returns are confidential as mandated by the statistics law and are exempt from the Freedom of Information law. For more details, you can go online to eso.ky or call 244-4600. And that ends today's news update here on CIGTV for this Friday and this week. If you missed it, you can go to the Cayman Islands Government Facebook page or the CIG Television YouTube channel. I'm Donna Bush, as always, thanking you for joining me, wishing you a wonderful and, of course, a very safe weekend, and inviting you back here again on Monday. Until then, bye-bye for now.
Did you know that planning permission is required for a shed? Did you know you should check with the department as a planning and permit application may be required? Did you know planning permission is required to clear land by mechanical means? You should check with the department as a planning and permit application may be required.
Boating, fishing, and water sports in the Cayman Islands are great, but keep a cool head. Here are 7 tips for fun and safe sea outings. Number 1. Use a checklist to plan your outing. Check the weather forecast, make a float plan, and share it with someone who is remaining on land, stating where you're going, with whom, and when you're expected to return. Visit your nearest marine supply store to get your safety gear. This includes signaling mirrors, whistles, and a flare kit. It's also very important to have on-board flotation devices and life vests for each person. There are different types of vests. Some are for water sport activities such as snorkeling, and others are for going on offshore boating or on fishing trips. Number 2. These items can be lifesavers in case of an accident or bad weather. Number 3. Use a motor kill switch, especially if you're boating alone. In case of a leak or breakdown, always stay with the boat until help arrives. If you capsize, an emergency beacon or locator device can send a distress signal to inform the authorities of your location. Larger flares will indicate distress to a boat, airplane, or search and rescue officials. Number 4. In addition to sunscreen, food, and beverages, it would be smart to have a cell phone. Make sure your marine radio works. Cayman boaters use Channel 16 to communicate. Number 5. Also, don't forget your anchor and sufficient rope. Number 6. Boat operators should be familiar with the local waters and reefs, as well as the capabilities and functions of the vessels they are using. Always obey the rules of the sea and the marine environment, and have courtesy for others. Number 7. Alcohol and salt water do not mix, especially if you're the captain. Some useful contact numbers are 911. The RCIPS Marine Base is 649-7710, and the Port Authority is 949-2055. Smooth sailing, all!
Did you know that planning permission is required for an addition, alteration, or any material change to your house? The 10% rule no longer exists. Did you know you should check with the department as a planning and permit application may be required?
The Esterly-Tibbetts Highway 3-lane roundabout is ready for drivers. It's time to make sure you know how to use it. First, know which exit you need to take. Pay attention to lane arrows and signs. Make sure you use your signal to change lanes or exit the roundabout. To turn left, you always approach in the left-hand lane and indicate left. To drive straight ahead, you need to be looking out for signs and road markings indicating which lane to use. Get in one of the lanes marked with a straight-through arrow. If turning right, you must use the right-hand lane and indicate accordingly. To use the roundabout safely, remember these 3 tips. Know your exit, pick your lane, and signal to make your turn.
I'm Jody Ann Powery. I'm the Police Media Officer with the RCIPS, and I'm here to give you some crime prevention tips on how to best protect your property. The first thing that we want to discuss is our points of entries. Let's start with the front door, and then we'll move on to the windows and the back doors or sliding glass doors. The first thing to consider is the front door. This particular front door has 2 deadbolt locks. One of these deadbolt locks are properly carpentered and the other is not. When your door is properly locked, you'll hear a click at the end and the deadbolts are not able to move. If it is slightly opened, then you can push the deadbolt back without having any restrictions. I'll now proceed to show you what your lock should look like when it is properly locked. When it comes to your windows, you want to make sure that your window is locked all the way down, because even though the lock is on, if it's not all the way down, it can still be pried. The proper way to lock the window is to make sure that the window goes all the way down to the seal and then you pull across the lock. When you have a sliding glass door at home, you want to make sure that you have secondary locking devices in addition to the lock that comes with the door. One of those can be a simple piece of wood that's jamming the doorway. We want to encourage you to ensure that you don't make things easy for burglars who are looking for opportunities to break into property by leaving your property out in plain view. Some of these items are your car keys, your electronics, and your handbags. Make sure that you put these properties away when you're leaving the house or when you're going to bed. When you're going camping or if you're taking your family on a trip, you want to ensure that your property has some sign of life. This can be done by leaving a light on or putting timers on your lights. And we want to ensure that our family homes are safe. In order to do so, we encourage that people take the proper precautions by starting up neighborhood watches or encouraging family members or persons they trust to check on their properties while they're away.